starting to get projections for what Brock Purdy's contract could look like. And I don't know who's talking to whom, but the latest projections like 5 years, 305 million, 61 million per season to make him technically the highest paid player in the league in terms of average per year. I don't know. Maybe this is what the agent's going to ask for off the bat, which would be funny. Look, the Niners have driven a pretty hard bargain with future Hall of Famers such as George Kittle and Trent Williams. Are they just going to approach Brock Purdy and ask him, what do you want? And then fill out a blank check for him because he's the quarterback? Or is this, I don't even know what I'm asking right now. It just feels like $300 million. He might get it if he waits a very long time. Do you think the Niners are going to be that eager to pay him that much money? I guess is my question.
No. I would hope to God they learned from their mistakes with Jimmy, right? Like, think about it. Brock, very similar to Jimmy, right? Jimmy, we had to pay Jimmy a lot quicker, but think about it this way. After the Chiefs Super Bowl, do we really think we would have paid Jimmy what we gave him initially? Probably not.
No.
Getting hurt all the time. Like, even if we made the playoffs this year, Brock was hurt. So would he have even played? Right. Maybe not. He might have not played. So that would have been 2 playoff runs now stopped because of injury. And why did we go up and get Trey Lance? Kyle said, we need a quarterback that can play through a season. Like, that was his biggest gripe, was injuries. So even like everyone's like, well, if we made the playoffs this year, we'd be having a different conversation. Yes, the conversation would then be, do we even pay Brock because he can't stay healthy?
Right. That's just a great point.
That's my biggest thing with everyone's like, he's worth it. He's worth it. No, he had one really great season. So did Jimmy. He had a great like rookie, got thrown in, and he had a great year that was halted by injury. And then he had a bad year this year, halted by injury, that he also got injured in the middle of as well. So it's like, in any way you look at it, performance-wise, does he deserve $300 million? No. Injury history-wise, does he deserve $300 million? No. So who in the world would pay this? There's not a team that would pay him $300 million. And I really hope to God the Niners aren't the only team that would, because there's no way. Like,
to me, this is really similar to the Kaepernick situation. Kaepernick, played like a little bit at the end of 2012, went to the Super Bowl. Came back 2013, played a full season, went to the NFC Championship game, got an extension after like a year and a half. And then that was about it for Colin Kaepernick. Like, and then you look back, it's like, well, he hadn't really proven that much. He was good for like a year and a half. And if you think about it, a lot of players have been good for a year and a half. But what you're really trying to pay for is someone who could be good for 10 years or 5. I mean, it's a 5-year contract. And I think with Brock, a lot of these contracts the Niners are giving out, Ayuk, Debo, it's like you gave it to a guy who had one good year. Yeah. And said you kind of projected it out that he could do it again. But Brock hasn't shown that he can do it again.
In my opinion, with the BA thing, right? Like, even with BA, he was healthy. He never missed a game prior to this year. And he was getting better every year. That's why I liked him, and I liked the Demo contracts. Even after BA got hurt, it's like, well, you couldn't have seen that coming. It was a Purdy hospital ball, by the way, that made him injured anyways. Demo, same thing, getting better every year, constantly playing well, not hurt. And then with Debo, it was kind of similar, getting better every year. Then he had that massive year, and then it was like, okay, we have to pay him. But with Purdy, it's like, he didn't get better every year. He's hurt his throwing arm 3 times, so he's missed a lot more time than the other guys. So even then, in my opinion, it wouldn't be following their contract structure, because you can make an argument every single person they've paid has gotten better every year and proven they wouldn't get hurt. Even CMC, yes, he got hurt a lot in the Panthers, didn't get hurt a game for us prior to signing his contract. Or he might have been out a game or 2 here and there for like soreness. But
not even sure he did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he missed week 18 because everyone got the week off because they got the number 1 seed. But yeah, it's like, that's a great point, man. He's been hurt multiple times. He would have been hurt at the end of the season. To me, look, the way that the Niners have operated in the past for a long time, as long as Parag Marate's been on the team in the front office, he busts your balls with that first offer. I'm pretty sure he's the guy who comes into the first meeting and tells you that he's run the numbers and he's looked at all the analytics and it's just too bad, but you're not that good. I'm pretty sure that George Kittle pretty much said this like on the record recently. Like it feels
hard.
like a slap in the face. It's tough to swallow. There's plenty of freaking ammunition to use against Brock if you wanted to, and someone's got to do it, and they don't want it to be John or Kyle because they have to be the good guys. So here comes Parag, given all the I've been watching Tyler and Grant recently, and they were pointing out some stats about you in the close games in the fourth quarter. It's not good. It's not good, Brock.
And I hope John takes, because they're talking about this is the big off. Like they have marked this off season as like, this is our thing. This is our turning point, right? So I think John needs to be the nice guy. Listen, like I would just be like, listen, Brock, if you want to get a deal like this, you need to play out your year because we are not going to give that to you. Like I'd even be straight up, period. I'm not giving you a deal like this. I'll give you a Baker Mayfield deal, but
I agree with you.
There's
to
no
me, that's
way in
so
hell.
fair. It's like, look, dude, you're coming off a down year. So here's the consequence of that. You get an extension offer. It's not what you would have gotten if you had gone to the playoffs again. It's very team friendly. Okay. So if you're looking for security, stability, man, this is more than fair. But if you think this is a slap in the face, if you think you're worth a lot more, you are more than welcome to come back and prove it. And we'd love to pay you. That's what Lamar Jackson did. Look at him now. So I think that's fair. And the idea that they're just going to approach him in like 3 weeks and say, here's $300 million, be the face of the franchise. I don't think it's how they do business. And I think it would be stupid.
I agree. And I also think like if his agent and him want to play the team wasn't exactly all for our point. Let's give you a 2-year Jordan Love deal where we'll even give you 2 years, $80 million, right? We'll pay you good for 2 years. And then we could see how you do when we upgrade the line this offseason. Everyone's healthy. We could see what you do next year. If you get hurt again, then, our worries are right. But if you want a $300 million plus deal, there's no shot I'm giving that to you. Like, I'd be so straight up, like, there's 0% chance you're getting that from me this offseason. So if that's your guys' starting point, we're not even close. You're going to play on that rookie deal, and I don't want to drag this out. So, like, I think John needs to be straight up. Like, dude, there's just no way. You don't deserve it. You took us to a Super Bowl. Congrats. So did Jimmy. Like, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So does he deserve $400 million? Should I call him up and say, hey, you won a Super Bowl? I need to give you $400 million. Like, no. You're solid. I'll give you a Baker Mayfield deal if you want. I'll give you a Kirk Cousins, not 4 years, but I'll give you like one of his 1 to 2 year fully guaranteed deals if you want. But I'm not giving you 5-year $300 million. Him and his agent are out of their minds if they actually genuinely expect the 49ers to do this. And if the 49ers do this, I'm not even exaggerating. John should be fired on the spot. Like, I wouldn't even blame Jed if the second that contract comes through, if John and them sign off on it, if I was Jed York, I'd be like, you're fired. Goodbye.
Yeah, the $300 million, they just fork it over to him because they want to look like they got their franchise quarterback. Like, that'll be the end of this run. I mean, it'll be
for sure. It'll be the end of Kyle.
Times.
I think it'll be the end of the Kyle, John, Purdy, everything. I think they'll hit the reset button because Kyle's backed him, John's backed him. If they sign him for $300 million, it's not because Jed York's standing there. Yeah, I want to give another massive check away. Like, he would totally do. It would just, in my opinion, it would be the end of everything. Like, this is what all their careers impinge on. If I'm Kyle and John, I'm not putting my career on the line for Brock Purdy right now.
Me neither.